It's hard to love some things or someone you don't know. Sorry, kids. Love, Daddy. Man, that's heavy. I'm a big fan of this royal toad.
This one's just pretty.
We're here at the Interstate 90 Mount Baker Ridge Tunnel, which is a community art project.
The Interstate 90 Mount Baker Ridge Tunnel Community Art Project.
This is a tunnel that bikers use to commute regularly between this side of Seattle and Mercer Island on the other. What better place for a community art project than a tunnel that literally takes minutes to walk from one end to the other? Recently, the city of Seattle had a different idea in mind. Take a look. Nothing but a sea of gray. Now, graffiti on private property is one thing, but this is a tunnel. Just looking back and forth though, it really is like such a stark difference, like an utter lack of color into a wall full of stuff to look at. I do really like these gradients of color. They're just kind of fun. They do still look pretty good, layered on top of one another. Go to that place you've been dreaming of. You see, I think we oftentimes think of graffiti as often very vulgar or negative things, but
it's almost entirely positive, I think, actually.
Yeah. Home is where the heart is. What I really like is we have some stencil phrases as well. We can care for each other. I think my personal favorite, I am not okay, but I will be. You are not alone. I am not okay, but I will be. Love yourselves.
Here we've got Never Give Up. That has been improved into The Joy Today Keeps the Demons Away. I am the Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And my personal favorite, reduce. No recycling. That's it. Oh, no reuse. I wish I had more paint and I could have made this better, but I didn't because, oh well. I still put this shit together. Sonic the Hedgehog. I think another interesting thing is the fact that even though some of this art is objectively just kind of shitty, the sum total of all of it together makes the wall itself more interesting. It's almost, it's art that works together to form a larger piece of art. Due to an injunction by a federal Washington judge, the city of Seattle is now not supposed to be enforcing any type of action against graffiti artists. Despite that, the city has ramped up what they call graffiti abatement, which is this. Businesses can be fined between $100 and $5,000 a day for not cleaning up graffiti on their premises. However, despite that, the city of Seattle is unable to prosecute graffiti artists, so it is simultaneously punishing people for not cleaning up graffiti, but also refusing to assist in preventing people from graffitiing their premises. It seems like a very insane double standard. Interestingly enough, one of Bruce Harrell's pillars is for more youth graffiti art, which to me translates to more state-sanctioned art.
This is obviously government funded because it's so neat. It says, don't film right when the cops are beating people up. But Seattle is notorious for having an abusive police department that constantly violates the rights of Seattleites.
Yeah, what is the message here? Don't record when police are beating up someone? Is that the message? Because I don't know if that's a great takeaway. One thing that I think is really interesting, I don't know whether you can make this out, but over the original mural, there are graffiti, like tattoos on this man's arm. So even this, like, the message itself has become a new medium for ever greater layers of graffiti on top of it, which I think is really interesting.
In a world full of hate, we can still find the light. Free Palestine. I like how the Palestine guy isn't painting over the menorahs, and the menorah guys aren't painting over the Palestine guy, because there's just so much space here that everyone can have a say.
Trans lives matter.
Free in Rio, it's like the capital of Brazil, right?
Yeah, why do they need to be free?
Free for Rio. Do we as a society want to live in a world of insane, often ugly, usually offensive, ridiculous, messy art? Or do we want to live in a gray rectangle of concrete? And ultimately, it doesn't matter what society decides. Because somewhere out there, there's a guy who's going to tag this, regardless of what society decides.